to me like.
Hey, hey. Oh, what's up? Can you guys hear me if I'm like this? Oh. Hey, what's up, Joy? Hey, Aussie. Hey, Ranish. Hey, Rock Gem. Sweet Misery. Do you guys rather have this or would you rather have my camera off? And then you see a picture. I know. I wanted to make it funny. Hey, Allie. That was the whole point, to make it funny. So just make sure you hit the thumbs up. So I want you guys to know I did my cabinet last night. You want to see how awesome it looks? Sitting there at Walmart at like 10 o'clock at night. Dayton woke up. He's like, holy crap, Mom. My new and improved spring cleaned pantry. Look how good that looks. I had told Dayton if he messes it up, I'll kill it. Literally kill him. Now, will it stay this clean? I don't know. I mean, will it stay this neat? I don't know. Hopefully. But I have to redo some of the labels. But I think it came out pretty awesome. I'm actually going to do my candle molds because I have like hundreds. I'm going to put those in bins too. That's my project this afternoon. So I was like, oh, after I do that live, I should take some extra bins and do all my molds in them. This way my molds are organized. Yeah. I'm on this organizing kick. So, but I'll have to get some candles labeled and mailed out in the morning. So if you have a candle order that was ordered before Saturday, yours are going out tomorrow. So, and then you want to hear something funny? So I have some orders that I don't have the stuff for yet. So Phoenix is coming home Friday, and Phoenix he gets delivery from Amazon in like one day. So I was like, oh my God, tubes. So I told him, I said, I just ordered stuff for you. It'll be there tomorrow. Bring it home on Friday. So I was like, phew. Because the ones I ordered from the manufacturer aren't going to be here for like 2 weeks. So I go on Amazon and I'm like, do you guys have these? Hopefully. But they do. So yay. So how's everyone doing? All right. Since I don't want to make this a 2-hour live, let me start with my message for Jonen'n. Jonen'n, get off your fucking high horse. So I was listening to her live while I was doing my Phoenix, cleaning Phoenix's room today. So I was like, oh, Jonen'n went live. So I figured I'd listen to it. And of course, she's on the high horse soapbox that, oh, she's too good for this community and blah, 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 blah. And it makes her sick and okay, whatever. But that wasn't even my issue. Then she says, now, mind you, I wasn't watching chat, so I don't know what was said in chat. But she made the comment of, And as ridiculous as this RICO lawsuit is, it's not half as bad as calling CPS and traumatizing a child. Hey, Amber. Okay, let's clear something up. Her child was not traumatized from an adult speaking to him for 5 minutes, okay? That's first of all. Second of all, if her child was so traumatized, why didn't she shut the fuck up? Because I know if my child was traumatized, I certainly wouldn't talk about the person that openly admitted to calling and traumatizing my child. So that's second of all. Third of all, having an adult speak to your kid for 5 minutes is not traumatizing. Like I said, the only call that traumatized my child out of all 5 of them was the one that was brutal, like absolutely brutal, that if not for COVID, my kid could have been taken away. Sage would have had to get rape tests and everything else done. So yeah, there's a big difference. And finally, Jonen'n, you made a comment and said how you go to the LOL community because, we're just so horrible in Krama. Jonen'n, why don't you ask Savage about her past? Why don't you ask Tina D about her past? Why don't you ask these creators that you just so love to get away from how many CPS calls they've made in the past, Jonen'n? Because it's been many. There's been much real life shit. That's what people did years ago. Okay? Literally. That's what they did years ago. And again, just because somebody only found out about mine doesn't mean that nobody else was doing it. Everybody called CPS back then. So if you want to get on your fucking high horse, then you might want to not sound really ignorant and stupid, because everyone that was around then knows who these people are and what these people have done and the real life shit that they stand for. I mean, hell, why don't you go do some research on Savage's best friend? Be our guest. Why don't you look into the real life shit that he's done before you go support them? Because this community is just so bad and a CPS call is just so traumatized. Stop. You sound ignorant, and for anyone that's been around and knows the shit that the LOL community has done and what they stand for, and how there's no moral compass on what any of them have done in the past. And I'm not afraid to say that. That's a fact. And they'll be the first to admit it to you. And then they'll tell you, yeah, it was years ago and blah, blah, blah. I did some fucked up shit. Just like we've all said. So for you to sit there in the same fucking live and talk about how a CPS call is so bad, and then 20 minutes before that, you say how you go to the LOL community for escape. That's literally like Love TLC saying that she's a high class person. It really what it comes down to. I mean, that was kind of a bad analogy, but you get my point. So seriously, before you step on that high horse, please know your facts. You come across so fucking ignorant so much. And that's one of the major things you come across ignorant about. MM's child was not fucking traumatized. And how do I know? Because I know. Because again, why'd she continue to talk about me for 3 fucking years if her child was so traumatized? Give me a fucking break. So seriously, get your head fucking together. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead and hang out with some of the worst and claim how, oh, I just go for them for this or for that. They have done The worst shit imaginable. Ask MFW. Literally ask MFW what Be Our Guest and Savage did to her. You want to talk about real life. Go ask Mark Terry what they've done to him. The man was fucking suicidal, literally. And there's video of it. It's sad. Killing his dog. I mean, serious shit. Like real life shit. This is the community that you're hanging with, girl. This is the community that you're supporting. But yet you want to say that a CPS call from 4 years ago is so much worse. Bitch, sit the fuck down. So that was my message for Jonen'n. No, actually, call me Frenchie. Not really. Yeah, ask Bommy what they've done to her, what real life stuff they've done. And then you can come tell me or tell your people how horrible a CPS call is. Bitch, please. Thank you, Ohio Stephanie. I was around back then and you are speaking facts. Thank you. And I hate to say that it was like that back then, but it just was. I'm not saying it was right. I'm not defending it. I'm not saying that we weren't fucking horrible to each other. Fuck, we were. We absolutely were. Some worse than others, but we went low. So for these newcomers to come around and act like, oh my God, she's the worst person in the world, but we're going to go support people that have done 1,000 times worse and 1,000 times more. Yeah, you sound fucking stupid. Just saying. One of my pet peeves is fucking ignorance. And to hear that kind of ignorance, I just can't. I knew I had to address it. And again, I go back to what I said about the other people. I am so sorry that I am not as perfect as you guys, that you guys have never made a major mistake that you couldn't take back. When I grow up, I really hope to be as perfect as everybody else. Jonen'n, Deeds, whoever. I really hope to be as perfect as you one day. Blah. Blah, blah. Think I'm going to throw up. Hey, Pug Love. I haven't seen you in a long time. Exactly. Quit bringing it up, people, because there is no escalation happening here like there is elsewhere. Amen. But it's when I heard that, it just fucking twisted me. It absolutely twisted me because I'm like, what the fuck? No, filing fake lawsuits, I think is a little worse in today's day and age. Because what I didn't fucking affect all the subs. I didn't rob my subs. All these RICO suits, lawsuits, these people are fucking robbing their subs. And it's going to leave it where the subs will never donate to fucking anybody after they see how hard they've been burned. It's fucking gross. Absolutely gross. That's true. Jonen'n also supports Sinner and Savage are both horrible. Yeah, she made a comment. You know, I this one I thought was interesting. She had said that they were saying, you know, it went from Betty to Brittany and who's next? Well, actually, if you go back, it went from Molly to me to Bombshell. I mean, it went more than just Brittany and Betty. I mean, this shit went back, way back. Betty was just on because Molly got kicked off. I agree. It's pussy ass people filing lawsuits. 100% agree. But Jonen'n was saying that one of the things that, you know, who's going to be next after Brittany? And she thought that it would be Sinner. And then somebody else said that it would be the lab. All right. in the history of these channels, as stupid as this might sound, we have a history here. And at no point would anybody go after the guys. I don't know why. But I would be very, very surprised if someone all of a sudden, if a next target would be a guy. I don't see it happening. That's why a lot of trolls pretend to be guys, because people don't fuck with the guys. Why? I don't know. So I do have a hard time believing it would be Sinner or the Lab, just because of history of this community. People just back down from the guys. I don't know why. So who's the next target? I don't know. I think it'll be one of their own. They'll turn on like Granny or Clue or something like that. Well, maybe not Clue, but just because I don't see it happening. And the Lab's not a weak person, and Sinner's not, well, Sinner's weak, but in a different kind of way. And they'll know they'll kick back. This community has a history of going after people that will just ignore it for the most part. Betty, for the most part, ignored it. I, for the most part, ignored it. Molly, for the most part, ignored it. Brittany, tried to, for the most part, ignored it. So yeah, I don't know. I just have a hard time believing Ernie Shell. Remember that? Yeah, that's true. But Ernie kind of did it on his own. I don't know. I'm not. My personality, though, I'm not really one to buy into, oh, they made me do it. No, you could have logged off. I know you hate her, Frenchie. I understand. Yeah, but did they really go after Benny? I don't know if they really went after Benny. But not to the point. I'm saying, like, not to the point of the way they would go after Hayes Coast, the way they would go after me or Betty or Brittany, when you have like hordes of people coming after you. They just don't really, they just don't. And I'd be surprised if it happens. I would. That's why I don't think it's going to be either one of them. I think it's going to be one of their own. They're going to turn on like one of their own. That's what I think. And Lindsay, as far as her reading a comment, I heard her read 2 comments. One comment, I thought she was giving me a plus, where she said, CPS, people think it's not as bad as the RICO or something like that. But then a few minutes later, she went and did an entire thing. So that's where I'm calling it out from. The catfish ignored it? What are you talking about? Well, she's not really a catfish. I mean, you see her. Like, people could say this picture's a catfish because it's filtered, but you guys know what I look like, so it don't matter. All right. How's my funny ass poll going? Let's see. All right, we only have 24. Personally, I love the 13% the most. The one that says, yes, you're an idiot. I like those people the most. All right, so let's get into this so I'm not going on for 2 hours. I don't follow her, Pug Love, so I don't know what happened with rent. Tell me she got evicted again. Tell me she got fucking evicted again. Or is she just, you saying that she's pulling some bullshit? Yeah, I don't follow her, so I don't know. You have to give me some details. Hey, Noni. 23 months. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. Well, one thing I did notice, Pug Love, have you seen her numbers? Her numbers are down. Like, she's getting less views than I get. and I had a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't even have a conspiracy. And her no I was shocked when I saw her numbers. I was like, "She's, like, not even breaking 1,000." And I was shocked. But I guess she just doesn't know what to talk about. And I love you for it, East Coast. 24 months? Woo! Although I know it wasn't consistent. I love you anyway, East Coast. Let's see. Oh. No, I was really surprised at her numbers, Pug. I was like, "There's no fucking way." I think I'm gonna do music. I see people do these music videos, like, like reaction videos to music. I'm like, "Oh my god, I could do that. I fucking spent years in the music business. Why don't I do a channel like that?" So I thought about doing it, but then I'm like, then I have to get ready every day. I wish I was a guy. I could just, like, throw on a baseball cap. I had to figure out how to do that. I gotta get enough balls to come on without any makeup and a baseball cap and not give a fuck. That's what I need to do. Because if I can do that, I'd go on camera every day. I just don't have the balls. Oh, it's okay, East Coast. Believe me, I totally understand. But I'm also glad that you're back, and you definitely don't need to apologize. You do not owe me an apology. No, these guys they do reviews, just like shorts. And I'm like, "Why don't I do this?" Like, it's not just me listening to music. Like, that's what I did for years. Like, I know what to look for in an artist. So I think I'd be pretty fucking good at it and even have the credentials behind me to do it. So I just got to get enough balls to fucking, you know, look normal. Ooh, I have an idea, but I don't know if he'd do it. Thank you, Allie. I have a great idea, but I don't think he would do it. Fuck. Thank you so much, Allie. Allie be in the house with the 20. They do shorts. Come to think of it. It's never done on well, some of them do like a full song, but for the most part, no. Why do I keep getting these fucking spam calls every day? These fucking unknown numbers. Thank you, East Coast. I don't have my thing set up. Shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was gonna sing, but I can't fucking sing if my life depended on it. I know what to look for in a singer, but I can't sing. So I'm not even gonna try. Get in the glam. No, I really need to start fucking taking pride in what I look like because I stopped. Maybe with the nice weather, I'll go back to it. But it's like, who am I going to get ready for? Dayton? I'm going to get all dolled up for Dayton because he's the only one I see every day. Him and his friends. Yes. Intrepid Candles Cash App. Yeah, but then when I get ready, I get mad. Yes, I'm still friends with Allie Wrights. She's all over in May's community, which I don't fuck with that. I would never not be friends with Allie. It's insane to me too, Betty. Absolutely insane to me. Thank you, Rock Jam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Betty, honestly, I love Allie. I got through the hardest time in my entire fucking life because of Allie, and I owe her for life, and that will never, ever change. And if she wants to be over at May Noodles, there's nothing I could do. But I love her, and she really helped me get through the hardest time of my entire life. Probably the hardest time I'll ever go through in my entire life. So, I couldn't have gotten through it without her. And for that, I will always love her, even if she's over in fucking May's channel all the time and never she's still a mod here. She just never comes in. I don't think she ever really took to this community. But don't forget, me and Allie was a Patreon of mine like 4 years ago. Like, she was in and out. She always comes in and out. But I will always love her. Even if she didn't like me, I would still love her. She's really a good person. And I mean that wholeheartedly. She's a good ass person. So, sex, naked pictures. Freaky pictures. Well, you want in? Alright, let's get into this. I told you it was what my Cash App is. Hold on. I'll make it easy, sweet misery. There you go. That's what I'm saying, Noni. Once you get out of it, it's hard to get back into it. It really is. It's hard to feel that again. I'm like, "Oh my god," doing my makeup, doing and then I'm like, I go to get dressed and I feel fat and miserable and yeah. And then all these places want like $300 fucking dollars for Ozempic. I'm like, "Oh my god, I can get a doctor to do it. It's my fucking insurance that won't cover it." I'm like, "I'm not paying $300 a month." But then I'm like, I have my daughter's wedding coming up. Maybe I should. I don't know. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to be on 5 hours. I am fat. I've gained a lot of weight. Stress. Stress is the killer of weight gaining. Okay, where's my thing? All right. So the reason why I wanted to go live this afternoon, not because I don't love you guys, but the reason why I wanted to go live this afternoon is Katie's got her interview tonight. Now, we saw a piece of the interview, which I'm going to play, but there are some telltale signs of someone who's lying. And I just want to make you guys aware of it and watch the interview, keeping these things in mind. But first, let's watch the 5 minutes that it plays. Hold on. Now, also, I want to make everyone aware. I know that Queen Bee had a title that said, Katie passed the lie detector test. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys this. A lie detector test does not, people think they get a lie detector test and they get like 30 questions. A lie detector test consists of like 2 questions, 3 at max. It doesn't mean that she's not guilty. It just means that they asked her questions that she was able to pass. We don't know what they asked her. They could have asked her, "Do you know where your son is?" Well, she might not. She could have handed him off to someone else, and then she wouldn't know where her son is. They also said they could have, not they said. They could have asked, and I'm sure they did ask that particular question. They could have asked, "Did you harm your son?" She may not have harmed her son. Again, she could have gave her son to someone else to harm, to do all these things. Those two questions are most likely the questions they asked. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And everyone just thinks, oh, they had this lie detector test and they asked her 50 questions and she passed with flying colors. No, they asked like 2 questions, maybe 3. I've heard max of 5, like totally 5. But all right, I'm just throwing out a theory here. All right. It's totally just a theory. What if she took Sebastian in the car through the garage and then gave him to Chris? And then Chris gave him to somebody, or somebody did something. She would pass a lie detector because A, she wouldn't know where her son is. B, she wouldn't know what happened to her son. And 3, she wouldn't. No, lie detector tests are 3 questions max. Even like Chris McDouchebag will tell you that. A lie detector is like 3 to 4 questions, 2 to 3 questions, maybe 4, maybe. But they ask you the most pertinent questions, and that's it. There's a reason why they do not hang out in court. I mean, they're not allowed in court because they don't mean anything. Chris Watts, that's different though. Chris was asked many questions, but that was different. They already knew he was guilty. And I don't remember how many were asked. I don't. But most lie detector tests are 2 to 3 questions. That's it. They don't ask you a lot of questions because then it doesn't. The more questions they ask you, the more likely you're going to come up deceptive. Not due to the fact that it was not due to the fact that you're guilty, but your stress level starts to go up. Your a lie detector doesn't have some secret recipe. It's just based on your stress levels. So if you start off calm and they ask you 2 or 3 questions, you're going to get a much more accurate reading than if you ask someone 9 questions or 10 questions. Then it's going to get your blood going. It's going to get you pumped up. It's going to get you scared, and you're going to be stressed, and then you're going to fail a lie detector test even if you might be innocent. That's why they only ask 2 or 3 questions. There's a reason for it. There's like a science behind it. It's not and that's the reason. So, yeah, typically between 2 and 4 relevant questions focused on the specific issue. No, they don't ask 10 to 12 questions. They absolutely don't. Way too many questions. It's 2 to 3, sometimes 4. Chris McDonough said that he's done lie detectors at up to 5, and that's the most he's ever done, was up to 5. He was a cop for like 20 years. Duty Ron will tell you the same thing, like 3. And like I'm saying, don't take my word for it. You can ask any police officer, ask any lawyer. They will tell you the exact same thing. Guilty of what, MK? Hey, Tony. Yeah, 5 is max, though. They usually don't like to do 5 because then you start getting stressed. But they keep it to 1, 2, and 3. Not 1, but 2 to 3 for a reason, because that's where you're going to be the most honest. Thank you, Amber. No, I did. I learned this in my master's degree, but I also heard other people speak about it. Like, I've heard cops talk about it. I've heard Chris McDonough talk about it. I've heard a lot of people talk about, cops. Off the cuff has talked about it. That it's, like 2, 3 questions. All right. So let's watch this. And I want everyone to tell me what they catch in it. But I'll tell you what bothers me about it the most is not what people think. And I'll explain it. Hold on. And this is just like a prelude to what we're going to see tonight.
The last time I saw my son was when he went to bed.
Tonight marks 1 year since Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home near.
Let me also just say, I fucking love this girl's outfit. I don't know why. I just love her fucking outfit. I can't tell you why. It's kind of ugly, but I love it.
Beach High School in Sumner County. He's 16 now, but there are still no confirmed sightings or leads in the case.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino sat down with Rogers' mother, Katie Proudfoot, and the search for her son and the ongoing public scrutiny surrounding this investigation.
Green tea.
A voice and an exuberant smile that have been missing for a year that Sebastian Rogers has gone without his favorite things.
Cats are the number one. He loves animals, almost all animals.
Okay, let me also say what I found interesting. They talk about I was highly intelligent and da-da-da. The way he just said that, I don't know why they used that video. Because that didn't come across to me as someone highly intelligent or highly functioning, unless that's an old video. And I'm not downing him for it. I'm just saying that when I think of high functioning, I think of Phoenix. I think of this kid I babysit for. That's what I think of high functioning. And that's not what I just saw.
Animals, video games, books, and any chance in the pool.
He loves water. He swims like a fish.
Sebastian also missed his birthday.
December 7th. He turned 16, and he should be home for that.
But Sebastian, who has autism, hasn't been home since.
I hate when they keep saying, like, who has autism. He doesn't have a fucking disease. He's not defined by his autism. I mean, when you're explaining someone about autism, you explain, yeah, he's got autism, he's got Asperger's, whatever, but it doesn't define them. And all these people want to make it that defines him. No, it doesn't. I'm sure there's many aspects of his personality that it's more than just his autism. So I think everyone caught her big blooper. Here's my issue with it. It wasn't just the fact that she said he was supposed to. I mean, that was like a huge blooper. But the fact that she caught herself is what bothers me. Why are you thinking so hard that you caught yourself saying something and then corrected it? That means that you're rehearsing what you're saying. That's what bothers me. I've said fucked up shit, like by accident, or totally sounds like, a Freudian slip, but it wasn't, I just fucking said something wrong, but I don't catch it in the middle of it. That's what bothers me. If she would have just said it, I would understand. I would completely understand, you say something wrong. I'm the fucking queen of saying wrong shit. Or making that slip, or saying, something in past tense when it really wasn't. But I don't catch myself in the middle and then correct it. That's what bothers me the most about all of it. bitch, you're so obviously fucking scripted that you're closing your eyes to remember things. You're closing your eyes to talk. That's not normal. All her weight gain, she looks like shit. I understand what it would be like to be under that much stress, but I'm also feeling guilty. Like, there is guilt. So let's continue with it.
Since February of last year. After dinner at the Texas Roadhouse on the 25th, Katie says she and her son went home.
Did anything happen the night he went missing that was like caused him to run away? Was he punished in any way? An argument? Just a normal night?
It was a normal night. It was a calm night.
That turned tumultuous by the next morning.
It was when I went in his room and he wasn't there. He wasn't in his bed.
Katie says she frantically searched the house and drove around the neighborhood at 6:30 a.m. until she and Sebastian's stepfather, who says he...
Okay, that's another thing. They said that she drove around at 6:30 a.m. Wasn't she allegedly driving at like 2 a.m.? I could be wrong. So you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I could swear it was in the middle of the night, not at 6:30 in the morning, that allegedly her car went out way before that. Am I wrong? Am I remembering things wrong? Like, I haven't followed the case much, but I know like the details. So, but for some reason, I don't remember it being 6:30 in the morning. She wasn't driving at 2. I am wrong. Okay, I'll admit it. What time was she allegedly driving around? I agree, Brika. Oh, it was 6? All right, then I'm wrong. No biggie. Maybe I'm just thinking all the talk about the middle of the night stuff. And that's what I'm thinking of. So it was daytime then. It was sunny out, basically. All right. I got no problem admitting I'm wrong.
He was away for work at the time, called police.
We need you to search your properties every day.
But an Amber Alert and an extensive week-long search didn't yield one significant lead or even a glimpse of the boy on any doorbell cam video. Days later, investigators combed through a landfill 2 hours away, still saying they had found nothing.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out.
We're not ruling anything out.
For the next year,
My only issue with that is, unless you're going to tell me he was taken by a fucking UFO, there is evidence of foul play. People don't disappear. Humans don't disappear into thin air. So there is evidence of, even if he left on his own, it's still foul play. It hasn't been seen in a year. So I don't understand I never understood how the cop thinks that. There is foul play. Even if he was taken by a UFO and aliens came down and took him, it's still foul play.
any activity involving Sebastian's case would fuel droves of online followers and even a restraining order against one YouTuber.
There were quite a bit of people that were, sending some very threatening and hateful messages to us.
What would you say to those people?
Just stop.
Fox 17 News sent the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the lead agency in the investigation, a list of questions in anticipation of this story, including asking if there are any new leads, what kind of evidence detectives have vetted, and if investigators still believe there is no indication of foul play. Sheriff Eric Craddock responded in an email saying, "This is an active and ongoing investigation. We continue to work with our state and federal partners. We will continue to seek a resolution in this case.
What do you believe happened to Sebastian?
Unfortunately, over the last year, I have thought every single day, night, every moment of every possibility of something that could happen to him, where he could have gone, if he had gone with someone, if someone took him willingly, unwillingly, if he'd run away and got lost, if he'd a million different things. And unfortunately, I don't know.
But Katie and a private investigator she retained believe this piece of surveillance video taken the night that Sebastian went missing could be a lead in the case.
12/17, a couple.
Hang on, don't mistake what I'm saying. Foul play doesn't mean the parents necessarily. It means total. If UFOs came down and took him, that's foul play. If some predator came and took him, that's foul play. When I say foul play, I'm not only talking about Seth, Katie, and Chris. I'm talking any scenario where this kid didn't just get in a car and drive off into the sunset. That's not foul play. But if someone took him, that's foul play. If he got taken by a predator, that's foul play. If he was taken by UFOs, that's foul play. There's many different scenarios to foul play. That's what I'm saying. And do I believe this kid got in a car and drove off in the sunset with his girlfriend? No. And that's the only scenario that's not foul play.
Couple 100 yards away, there's a figure.
The Sumner County Sheriff said the video has no relevance to the case, but the Proudfoots aren't dismissing it until the identity of the person is confirmed by investigators. Unfortunately, any possible break in Sebastian's case has gone nowhere.
No child goes.
I'm sorry. So what I was saying is the cops are saying there's no evidentiary value for here. And I completely agree with them. It's a black shadow. It could be anybody. It could be a ghost. I mean, literally, it could be a ghost. It could be Sebastian's ghost. Who knows? But what they think that someone can do with this, I have no idea. I mean, it's literally all you see is a black shadow. There's no way to identify it. There's no way to find out who it is. It's impossible. So I don't know what they plan on doing with this or why they think it's so important. If the cops can't possibly identify him, it could be anything. I mean, like, I'm watching on a 49-inch monitor and all I see is like a ghost shadow. It's literally all I see.
It until the identity of the person is confirmed by investigators. Unfortunately, any possible break in Sebastian's case has gone nowhere.
No child goes poof. He's somewhere.
Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, has also endured a year without his son.
Sebastian, son.
Seth brought in a team offering their own reward of $347,000. That's on top of the FBI's $50,000 reward.
Stop looking is to give up hope.
Hope that's still evident among volunteer searchers.
I'm not going to stop.
Missing signs and ribbons in Sebastian's favorite color.
And God, right now we're seeking you to reveal the truth to us.
Katie says detectives searching for that truth left no question unasked.
Lie detectors.
Yes.
For yourself
and my husband.
Which Katie says they passed. We don't know what investigators say about the test, but Katie says they have searched her home.
Thoroughly, many times. Cadavers, searchers.
What do police tell you at this point? What do they think?
Unfortunately, that they have zero evidence.
Zero trace of the boy with a smile that's imprinted on countless hearts, especially, Katie says, on her own.
I would just like to tell my son that I love him and to know that we are never going to stop searching.
So a lost smile can be found.
Anyone who believes they may have seen Sebastian Rogers should immediately call 1-800-TBI-FIND or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. There is a vigil for Sebastian this Saturday, March 1st at 2 p.m. at the Celebration of Life.
Yes, I did notice that, Farika. It's interesting to me that they wanted to do an interview with her and kept him out of it. But maybe he's in it later. I don't know. We'll find out tonight. But yeah, I noticed that too. Now, she looked at the reporter 2 times. 1, when she talked about Betty. And 2, when she talked about cats. That he loved cats. That's it. She never looked at, I don't know. To me, she just seems so scripted. And granted, it's only a small piece of what we're going to see later. But I felt completely scripted. And I don't know. I have so many different theories. One of my theories, as I said back then, was maybe he is in a chimney somewhere. Maybe he went to escape, but a year later it would smell. But do I think this kid walked out on his own? Absolutely not. I'm going to use Occam's razor. And Occam's razor is the most logical, easiest explanation is usually what it is. Piecing everything together, connecting all the dots, I think she took him in her car, dead or alive, I don't know, but she took him in her car, left at 6:30 in the morning when she was allegedly looking for him, and gave him to someone else. She can pass all the lie detector tests she wants because she doesn't know. Maybe she thought she was giving them to someone for a weekend. Oh, who knows? But he left without clothes. He left without shoes. So the only logical explanation is that she took him in a car. It was 6:30 in the morning. You're going to have cameras. Or then again, when she woke up, it was 6:30. But neighbors had cameras. He wasn't on camera anywhere. There were no cars out of anywhere. There were no strange cars in the neighborhood that they haven't identified. So nobody picked him up in a strange car that they didn't find. The only logical explanation goes back to a year ago when I did discuss it. And that was she took him in the car, in the garage, said, we're going for a ride. She tossed him to someone else. She went and met someone in the car. And yeah, but she had an outside camera, not you don't have a camera inside your car. And I'm absolutely convinced that he was in the car with her when she was allegedly looking for him is when she tossed him to someone else. It's that simple. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but he didn't just poof, disappear into thin air. And there's nothing that anybody's going to tell me differently. Even if UFOs came and took him, where the fuck are the UFOs? There's no UFOs anywhere. There was nothing. So where did he go? He didn't just go poof. She would have been tracked by phone or camera unless the police are dumb. What do you mean, though? Hey, Peggy. Oh, that's it. I mentioned aliens. Peggy's like, hell yeah. The British took him. Meghan Markle took him. The Queen took him. Her phone or Apple Watch would have tracked her movement. But she was allegedly looking for him. Think about it. She was looking for him. But that doesn't mean he wasn't in the car. She could have stopped at a light. Yeah, Bigfoot. She could have stopped at a light and somebody took him. You know what I'm saying? That's okay, Peg. We miss you. You were good fun. You know what I mean, though? Like, how else would he have fucking disappeared? She wouldn't have to be gone that long. You never know, Cammy. And then I said, way back when, that it's very possible, that he left out through the window. Then someone said he's on the second floor. Then someone said he's not on the second floor. It's only a one-story house. But I said the big bang she heard could have been somebody breaking in the window. And that's when he left. I mean, honestly, call me a bad mom, but my kids, after like age 13, I don't check in on them at night. If my kids snuck out, I'd probably never even know. They're on the total other side of the house. If I hear something, I'm like, Dana, you all right? Oh, I absolutely think she knows something, Peggy. After hearing that little piece of an interview, 100% she knows something. The reason, okay, to follow that through, Frenchie, the reason why she would give him to someone else is you can't pass a lie detector if you know the truth. But if you don't know the truth and you're just trying to get rid of someone and you're just trying to, get rid of that person, you don't want to know the details. You don't want to know what they're going to do because then you can't pass a lie detector. It's part of the reason criminals won't tell their girlfriends or wives the shit they really do, because this way, when the police interrogate them, they're not lying. So they can't be proven as lying when they don't know they just don't know anything. Cammy, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Because she was on the phone? See, I don't question that part so much. I've heard crazy bangs and I'm like, what was that? Oh, Ma, we just dropped something, or I broke a glass, or the dog knocked this over. That part I don't really think much of. I mean, if I heard a window break, I'd be the first one in there, but you know what I mean. But that's what I'm saying. Dayton sleeps with his door shut. I don't go in there. You know, if I need something or I need to ask him something, but when he says, Mom, going to bed, I'm like, all right, good night. You know, I don't go in and check on him anymore. He could sneak out. I wouldn't even know. All the red flags from Katie. Oh my God, there's a million. Would you check on them, see if they fell? I would ask them. I would say, are you all right? I mean, I once heard a crash, and as I heard it, as I was walking to the back of the house, Phoenix like, Mom, I'm fine. I just broke a glass. Oh, okay. If he was lying to me, I probably wouldn't know. But there are times I hear stuff and I'm like, are you okay? Only if they don't answer do I like running in there. I mean, you want to give your kids a little space. Till now I have a paid Life 360. So I know everything they do. I love it. I was like, why are you driving 75 miles an hour? She's like, Mom, I was on a highway. Said too fast, slow down. I love it. They tell you how long it takes them to get somewhere, everything. It's fucking awesome. I was like, this is like the best $15 a month I ever spent. MK Ultra did a live stream about this case. I don't follow it, but the child disappearing under his mother's watch is weird. I agree. Yeah, Thuds, you question, but she did call up to him allegedly and said, are you okay? And she said, yeah. But I just thought that the thud was maybe somebody coming in through the window and scared him. And then he left out the window. I mean, mulch doesn't take, you don't really, I have mulch outside my door. You can't tell if somebody's there. Like if I'm doing gardening and stuff and I lay more mulch down, you can't tell if someone's there. It doesn't really leave. It's not like sand or snow. Yeah, she did. She said, are you okay? She said she heard a loud noise, and then she said, Sebastian, are you okay? And he said, yeah, Mom, I'm fine. That I do remember. See, Peggy, I thought that too. Is the whole thud story false to begin with? We don't know. You can detect impressions, not if they fix it. I once got caught sneaking out. I was so mad. I got grounded for like a month. And I hadn't even like left the house yet. My parents were out and they forgot something and they saw me in the driveway. I was like, no. So I got grounded for a month. I hadn't even left the house. I was like, we're just hanging outside talking. I had like my pocketbook, makeup on. Yeah. Never did that again. Why would she lie about shoes or thud? No camera. Military calls sheriff, not 911. What do you mean? She did call what do you mean? He wasn't. Oh yeah, Chris was military. Yeah, they didn't call 911, right? He called the non-emergency line, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. It's been a while. And I haven't followed all this drama. The whole crime community like ruined this case. But now there's something for me to talk about again. YouTubers, it's a misinfo. Oh, I agree, MK. Yes, but Peggy, like I explained earlier, they only ask you like 2 to 3 questions on a lie detector. They could have asked her the wrong questions. Or if she gave her son to someone, or she knows somebody that came and took her son, she wouldn't know any of the details. I don't know what questions they asked. So when I hear, oh, she passed the lie detector, it doesn't mean they asked the right questions. Even PJ passed her lie detector test. In fact, Casey Anthony passed the damn lie detector test. Yeah, because she may not know, though. That's what I keep stressing that. All right, if she, I'm just throwing this scenario out there just for argument's sake. Let's say she paid some guy to come kidnap her kid. All right, she wouldn't know what happened to him. She would be able to pass a lie detector with flying colors because she doesn't know. She doesn't know what happened to him. She doesn't know where he is. She doesn't know if he's alive or not. So she would not be lying, and she would be able to pass easily. And that's just scenario I just threw out, but you know what I'm saying. That's true. They could have used an unreliable guy. Jennifer Koffendorfer could have given the lie detector test. There are forensic pictures outside of a door, so it's probably not Katie. All right, here's the thing, Marie. I am a big believer in don't put guilt on any of them, and I still feel that way. I'm just looking at her body language, her mannerisms, but most importantly, I'm looking at Occam's razor. He just didn't disappear. He just didn't pop up out of nowhere. And there's no evidence of it. He was either taken by somebody, not saying it was her, but he was taken by somebody. He's not on camera anywhere outside. So he had to go, unless he figured out how to magically disappear. And if he did, please show me how to do it. But unless he magically disappeared, he had to get in a vehicle or something through the house, or he would have been seen somewhere. That's all I'm saying. Marie, I personally think what we just saw was very scripted. I know it's very easy to say, like, if it was me, if it was my kid, I don't give a fuck what people think. I just want to find my kid. So if I say the wrong thing, fucking deal with it. I know I'm innocent. And it reminds me of what the fuck's his name? This is one case me and Jay fought over. The girl, I'm so sorry, I forgot their names. No disrespect. But the one who Megan something, who she cut the baby out. I forgot her name. But the husband, Jay is for Justice, had all her friends on acting like she was innocent. I mean, like he was guilty. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, this guy didn't do anything. I don't know why I think that. I just do. He was saying all the wrong things, but it was so natural. Like, yeah, he kind of looked guilty if you look at it that way, but he just didn't care. He just wanted to know what the fuck happened to his wife, where his wife was, and where his unborn baby was. And he just let things flow. And Jay is for Justice made this whole big thing about how he's guilty and he did this and he did that. And oh my God, no, he didn't. And then sure enough, he didn't. He was totally innocent. Okay, not comfortable speaking. I would do a script too. Don't hold me to that scenario, Frenchie. I just said it's a scenario that I thought of. I didn't say it was a given. Again, I'm just using Occam's razor. He didn't disappear, and he wasn't caught on camera anywhere, and he allegedly didn't have shoes on. Just too many things. And the cop's saying it's not foul play. Yeah, it is. It's foul play somewhere. Not saying it's foul play with the parents, but it's foul play somewhere. Yes. Correct, Beth. I forgot the names. I know Megan was the killer, but I completely forgot the other names. And I feel horrible for that. I should know it. Cover a case, you should know it. No. I said, Frenchie, let me say it again. I said, don't hold me to this scenario. I'm just throwing out a scenario. That's what I said. And you're holding me to that scenario. No, there has to be a car involved for an Amber Alert. Amber Alert just means that there's, you may not know who the person is, but there's a car involved. They don't know there's a car in. Oh, I guess they do because there is an Amber Alert on him. Yeah, why did they have an Amber Alert with a car if they don't know if he left by a car? Think about that. Good point, Jamie. They have to know somebody left in a car in order to do an Amber Alert. So how did they know he left in a car? Heidi, thank you. She already had her baby. You're correct. She killed her and took the baby. Thank you, Miss B. Austin, yes. Yeah, others did think he was guilty. I didn't. I recall others thought Dad was guilty and you felt he was innocent, which he was. And I said I couldn't even tell you why he's innocent. I just feel like he's innocent. He was just so natural. No, Amber Alerts, I'm pretty sure, are the same in every state when it comes to a car. That's why I don't think Summerwells have an Amber Alert. I don't remember. Megan Brasser, thank you. He was framed by who? The Queen of England, Peggy? I haven't followed that case either, Peggy. Meghan Markle killed him. I mean, an FBI reward for a case that is a willing runaway. That's true too. You know, Natalie brings up a really good point. Since when does the FBI do a $50,000 reward for a kid that ran away? They don't. They wouldn't. So they obviously know something that we don't, which is fine. They're allowed, they're allowed to know stuff we don't. But that's a really, really good point. And very true. They're not going to do a $50,000 reward on a kid that ran away. I just think Tennessee sucks, if you want my honest opinion. Is the FBI, TBI often a reward? I think it's the FBI. Or TBI. TBI? I don't know. Now you got me confused. No, I don't know. Criminal Matt, how's your candle, by the way? I can't wait to get my old wax in. I think it's the FBI, right? Now you got me curious. It's the FBI. He's definitely framed. He's been found guilty. He definitely been found guilty in the court of public opinion. Idaho 4 were killed over big-time drug trafficking. I'm not going to say no, Peggy, because I have seen that. So I'm not going to tell you that's ruled out. But I don't see why they would frame him. Hey, Debbie. Just part of the interview that we're going to be looking at later. What do you want, dog? Yeah, it's the FBI. August 29th of 2024. The FBI announced a $50,000 reward for information that leads to him. I'm going to try Googling this. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try. Hold on. If play. What is case? Why? Okay. Now, according to News Channel 5 Nashville, I had typed in a question that said, if there's no foul play, why is the FBI offering $50,000? And it did come up an article. And it said, hold on. Oh. Where is it? Okay. Ken Weeder of Sumner County EMA heads up the continuing search effort for Sebastian. To date, they've found no trace of the teen. Yes, it's possible Sebastian wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money concedes the very real possibility of foul play. So they're in agreement with that. At MK Ultra, I could not agree with you more. I said that last night. Peggy, where did you come up with this theory? But you still think Karen Reed is innocent, right? Are we still in agreement on that? You still hanging out at the Glares? I said last night, MK, if all of these big channels, people that are pulling over 1,000 and alive, all work together, they might actually get something done. So the owner article is about the case. I mean, there's our answer. He didn't run away. That's what I'm saying. Here's the article. It's from News Nashville.
Growing up, my mom was a local news anchor. And even when I was little, I saw my mom speak to people that you would never get an opportunity to speak with. That seemed interesting and also fulfilling to me. What set Scripps News apart, we traveled to
Where's
the
that even
story,
coming from?
talk to the people on the ground to bring the viewer details that impacts actual people's lives. Liz Landers, Scripps News.
For live reports, breaking news, and headlines from across the country, stream Scripps News. This bracelet right here, it says Sebastian's Army, and members of Sebastian's Army back here behind me are outside the sheriff's office today, reminding everyone that it was 6 months ago that Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Hendersonville.
Today is the 6-month anniversary of him going missing, and it's very important to keep Sebastian's name out in the public so he's not forgotten. And we were very pleased to hear about the $50,000 reward. That's going to be very helpful.
Yes, now the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to the missing 15-year-old with autism.
I hope that's the catalyst to make something move.
Ken Widener with Sumner County EMA heads up the continuing search effort for Sebastian. To date, they've found no trace of the teen. Yes, it's possible Sebastian wandered off on his own, but the FBI reward money concedes the very real possibility of foul play.
If somebody were to have done something and they told somebody something, it may be what it takes for that person to get that off their chest and make the right decision.
And now the TBI references the reward for information leading to Sebastian or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Now, remember, investigators have never named any suspects. Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
Still, after 6 months with no good leads, everyone wonders.
But you have no evidence to support no foul play. So, I mean, it could go either way. I don't understand why they keep saying that, unless they're just setting something up. MK, I thought you were being sarcastic when you said that. That's all Clara ever talks about. Brittany, how close are you? Like, are you like, do you know them? Yeah, I don't know why they're saying, oh, there's no foul play. There's no evidence of foul play. Well, there's no evidence of no foul play. So I don't get it.
How a child alone could vanish without a trace. So the hope is someone out there knows something and calls in the key tip to 1-800-TBI-FIND and helps solve the mystery of what happened to Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, that would be nice. So now they're having to backtrack, and they also see a lot of crucial evidence those first few days by treating it interesting what the mom was saying. That's the truth of the matter. Oh, I agree. Yeah, Jamie, that's why I stayed away from this case for so long. I was like, when there's something new to talk about, I'll be the first to talk about it. But there's nothing new. These people were drilling for like the last 8 months, just talking into the ground. And that's why I don't like technically blaming anyone, because we don't know. But I don't know, the way she just fucking, the way she caught herself just tells me this, she's scripted, and that bothers me. This is your kid. Who cares if you cry? Who cares if you scream? Who cares if you yell? Just be real. Do it from the heart. But we got so sidetracked. I never showed you guys what the whole point of this live. And I'm already an hour and a half when I said I did not want to go 2 hours. Hold on. All right. So keep these things in mind when we watch her interview later. Lack of self. These are 10 signs of deception. Lack of self-reference. Truthful people make frequent use of the pronoun I to describe their actions. I arrived at home at 6:30. The phone was ringing as I unlocked the door. So I walked straight into the kitchen to answer it. I talked to my mom for 10 minutes before noticing that my TV and computer were missing from the living room. Brief statement contains a pronoun I 4 times in 3 sentences. Deceptive people often use language that minimizes references to themselves. One way to reduce self-references is to describe events in the passive voice. The safe was unlocked rather than I left the safe unlocked. The shipment was authorized rather than I authorized the shipment. Another way to reduce self-references, substitute the pronoun you for I. Question, can you tell me about reconciling the bank statement? You try to identify all the outstanding checks and deposits in transit, but sometimes when you're really busy, you just post the differences to the suspense amount. So that's one. Keep that in mind. 2, verb tense. Truthful people usually describe historical events in the past tense. Deceptive people sometimes refer to past events as if the events were occurring in the present. Describing past events using the present tense suggests that people are rehearsing the events in their mind. Investigators should pay particular attention to points in a narrative at which the speaker shifts to inappropriate present tense usage. Consider the following statement made by an employee claiming that a pouch containing $6,000 in cash was stolen before she could deposit at the bank. I emphasize certain words. After closing the store, I put the cash pouch in my car and drove to the Olympia Bank building on Elm Street. It was raining hard, so I had to drive slowly. I entered the parking lot and drove around back to the night deposit. When I stopped the car and rolled down the window, a guy jumps out of the bushes and yells at me. I can see he has a gun. He grabs the cash pouch and runs away. I last saw him. He was headed south, blah, blah, blah. The first 3 sentences describe the employee's drive to the bank in the past tense, but the next 3 sentences describe the alleged theft in the present tense. An alert investigator might suspect that the employee stole the day's cash receipts, then drove to the bank and called the police from the bank. That's interesting, though. That's really fucking interesting. That one's got to sink in, but think about that. That's pretty interesting. Even liars pretend not to lie. 3, answering questions with questions. Even liars pretend not to lie. Outright lies carry the risk of detection. Before answering a question with a lie, a deceptive person will usually try to avoid answering the question. Why would I steal from my own brother? Do I seem like the type of person who would do something like that? Number 4, equivocation. The subject avoids an interviewer's questions by filling in his or own statements with expressions or uncertainty, weak modifiers, and vague expressions. Investigators should watch for words such as think, guess, sort of, maybe, might, perhaps, approximately, about, could. Vague statements and expressions of uncertainty allow a deceptive person leeway to modify his or her assertions. Oaths. Although deceptive subjects attempt to give interviews as little useful information as possible, they try very hard to convince interviewers what they say is true. Deceptive subjects often use mind baths to try to make statements sound more convincing. Deceptive people are more likely than truthful people to sprinkle their statements with expressions such as, I swear, on my honor, I'll be honest, as God is my witness, cross my heart. Gee, how many people do we hear this from? Euphemisms. Many languages offer alternative terms for almost any action. Statements made by guilty parties often include mild or vague words rather than harsh or more explicit synonyms. Euphemisms portray the subject's behavior in a more favorable light and minimize any harm the subject's actions might have caused. Investigators should look for a euphemistic. Wow, my words are on point tonight. I'm getting them all right. Euphemistic terms such as missing instead of stolen, borrowed instead of took, bumped instead of hit, and warned instead of threatened. Number 7, alluding to actions. People sometimes allude to actions without saying they actually perform them. Considering the following statement from an employee who was questioned about the loss of some valuable data. I try to back up my computer and put away my papers every night before going home. Last Tuesday, I decided to copy my files onto the network drive and started putting my papers in my desk drawer. I also needed to lock the customer list in the office safe. Did the employee back up her computer? Did she copy her files onto the network drive? Did she put her papers in the desk drawer? Did she lock the customer's list in the office safe? The employee alluded to all of these actions without saying definitely that she completed any of them. An attentive investigator should not assume the subjects perform every action they allude to. Lack of detail. Truthful statements usually contain specific details, some of which may not even be relevant to the question asked. This happens because truthful subjects are retrieving events from long-term memory, and our memories store dozens of facts about each experience. The new shoes we were wearing, the song that was playing in the background, the woman at the table next to us who reminded us of our third grade teacher. The conversation that was interrupted when the fire alarm rang. At least some of these details will show you in a truthful subject statement. Narrative balance, number 9. A narrative consists of 3 parts: prologue, critical event, and aftermath. The prologue contains background information and describes events that took place at the critical event. The critical event is the most important occurrence in the narrative. The aftermath describes what happens after the critical event in a complete and truthful narrative. The balance will be approximately 20 to 25% prologue, 40 to 60% critical event, and 25 to 35% aftermath. If one part of the narrative is significantly shorter than expected, important information may have been omitted. If one part of the narrative is significantly longer than expected, it may be padded with false information. The following statement filed with an insurance claim is suspiciously out of balance. I was driving east on Elm Street at about 4 on Tuesday. I was on my way home from the A&P market. The traffic light at the intersection of Elm and Patterson was red, so I came to a complete stop. After the light turned green, I moved slowly into the intersection. All of a sudden, car ran into me. The other driver didn't stop, so I drove home and called my insurance agent. Subject statement contains 4 sentences of prologue, only 1 sentence describing the critical event, and only 1 sentence of aftermath. A prologue contains a credible amount of detail, the day and time of the accident, the driver's destination, but the description of the critical event, the alleged accident, is suspiciously brief. And this is really interesting. Like, really interesting. Lizzie, can you go fuck your dad, please? Asshole. I think your dad is calling for you, Lizzie. And number 10, mean length of utterance. The average number of words per sentence is called mean length of utterance. The MLU equals the total number of words in a statement divided by the number of sentences. Total number of words, total number of sentences. Most people tend to speak in sentences of between 10 and 15 words. ACFE self-study, CPE course. When people feel anxious about an issue, they tend to speak in sentences that are either significantly longer or significantly shorter than the norm. Investigators should pay close attention to sentences whose length differs significantly from the subject's. So what I'm going to do, Mater, what I'm going to do is, because you guys know I fucking hate reading. But here, you guys can read it on your own. But I know I read through it fast, but it really is pretty fucking interesting. And definitely something to look out for. Yeah, there are a lot of kids are trafficked out of Tennessee. There's a lot of rings on it. Yep, another child vanishes under the watch of the mom. I don't think that was brutal, Texan. I think that was pretty lame. But yeah, I mean, even if you guys read this on your own, there's so many things that YouTubers that fall under this. We're about to watch the SS video. He put that out there just to get social media going. What SS video? She did look awful. I agree, Criminal Man. I'm interested to watch the whole thing. I can't wait till later. I'm glad somebody reminded me of it. Natalie, that's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't fucking define him. Like, and if you ask an autistic child, they don't want to be defined by it. Phoenix's school does not even know that he has autism, Asperger's, whatever. He didn't want them to know. You know, when he was younger, he was proud of it. Yeah, I'm special, I'm different. But as he got older, he just wants to be himself. He just wants to be Phoenix. He doesn't want to be defined by he's different, he has autism, he has this. He's just him. I don't even think his girlfriend knows. So that's how I look at Sebastian. You know, everyone just keeps defining him like that's the only way he's defined. He's more than just an autistic kid. No, it's because they use that. That's just the media. It's more of shock value. But I just think it's gross. Oh, Frenchie, I once lost Dayton in a store. I was freaking the fuck out. I got him back. I just held him and cried my ass off. I was like, where were you? I was like, don't ever leave me. She's never said Sebastian's name in an interview. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, there's no way I'm going through all her interviews. But that is interesting. MK, I'll leave that to you. Go through all her interviews. Go watch a year's worth of Justin. Seriously, though. There's no way who are you going to troll? Who? Queen Bee? She strikes me, too. She strikes everyone. And Natalie, I completely agree. And like someone said, nobody ever talks about the other issue that he had, which is probably a lot more pertinent than the autism. And in my opinion, Natalie, it's just my opinion. That's one of the reasons I don't think he just walked away. But I just can't stand everybody using his autism like he's got a fucking disease or something. It's a social issue. It's not a intelligence issue. It's a social issue. Julie, Savage will tell you she had a fucked up past. She did some crazy shit. She'll be the first to tell you that. It's not a secret. I'm not saying anything that people don't know. The chromosome deletion, they wouldn't even know what that would do to Sebastian. You fix things as a yeah. See, that's what I said last night. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to even pretend to know anything about that and talk on it because I don't. But so, I don't know. I just felt that she was very scripted today. It was not natural at all. It so bothers me that she stopped mid-sentence to correct herself with a smile. That was fucked up. Totally fucked up. And again, that doesn't mean she's guilty, but it does mean that she's scripted and she's thinking about what she's saying instead of just talking. And I understand when your people have eyes on you and you want to make sure you say the right thing, but this is your missing kid. Who gives a fuck? Who cares what Betty thinks? Who cares what Queen Bee thinks? Who cares what fucking Justin thinks? Who gives a shit? Who cares what I think? See, that I don't understand, Criminal Med. Not even, I mean, he was underweight. Joy, it's possible, but I don't. No, she wouldn't be because she wouldn't have been able to be in the military. I don't know if you can be autistic in the military. Don't hold me to that though. That's what I said, Verika. Somebody climbed through the window. If you call his name, he will turn around. Well, Natalie, even on that interview, when they showed a clip of him, it was like, whoa, that's like I babysit for an 8-year-old that's more mature. So, yeah, I don't think he was as high functioning as they say. But I mean, that's just based on a couple of clips. There could be evidence of an intruder. They're just not telling us anything. You know what I mean? We're assuming, like literally assuming that the cops are telling us everything. And they're not. We have no way to prove that the cops are telling us everything. The cops could have an entire thing laid out that we just don't know. You know, they could have evidence of an intruder, but maybe that intruder was Chris Proudfoot and they're not going to X that out. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. I like to give the police the benefit of the doubt and say that they probably do know more than they're letting on and they're not as clueless as they pretend to be. I'm trying to give them the benefit. Yeah, it was Cluminati's ex. So, I don't know. It was Cluminati. I'm kidding. At least she won't call the police on me like, yeah, MK, you better be careful. Some of these creators are calling police on creators just for making a stupid comment. And they're making it like it's the worst thing in the world. She pulled a gun on you? Who? Cluminati? No shit. Damn, what'd you do? Blame the victim. What'd you do? It doesn't even have to be a gigantic cat fight. I'm so proud of me. I got all my big words right today. Woohoo! So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I can just, it flows, and then other times my brain is going like 14 miles the other way, and I can't get one word out right. But I got them all out right today. She had to take a restraining order against BHB. She's being looked at with a microscope. I understand, call me Frenchie, but to me, it doesn't even matter if I'm being looked at by a microscope. Who the fuck cares what YouTubers think? This is my kid and I'm innocent. I will scream it from the fucking rooftops. You will never stop me from finding my son, from, oh, I'm worried about Betty. Bullhorn Betty might say the wrong thing. Who gives a fuck? Who cares what Bullhorn Betty thinks of me? But at the same time, as much as I don't like Betty, why the fuck would you put a restraining order on somebody that's looking for your kid? Hey, Aaron, that's weird. It doesn't matter how much bullshit she talks. You don't put a restraining out order on somebody that's trying to find your own fucking child. That's weird. But everyone's blinded by it because it's Betty. If it was Queen Bee, it would be a whole different story around here. Everyone would be like, oh my God, how could she do it? She's guilty, blah, blah, blah. But because it's Betty, it's totally different scenario. But at the end of the day, all Betty's doing is looking for Sebastian. I mean, that's all she's done. Oh, I agree, MK. But it doesn't matter if you like her or not. She wasn't doing anything other than, you know, being the grifter she is. But she's just looking for your kid. And she's like, you know, Planet Save-A-Ho. She's going to be the detective. She doesn't have any fucking merit. She doesn't have any credit. She's just a YouTuber. So to put a restraining order on her that she can't talk to you, you know, she can't look for your son. Are you worried she's getting close? Are you worried that, because that's how I see it. I see it as you're just worried that she's gonna find something out and then go to the police. She's only a major distraction because they made her a major distraction. Other than that, she's just an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry if you like Betty, but truth is, she's entertainment. She's not a detective. She's not a fucking lawyer. She has no credentials. She's just a YouTuber who's trying to fucking make money. That's it. Natalie, I completely agree. I heard that girl went to jail. A guy that I started YouTube with, Sean Atwood, he covers that completely. He covers everything with her, Peggy. You would probably like him. He's from England. He's not allowed back in the States anymore. He's another one. We started together. He's got like 1 million subs. I don't support the clueless. The elevated dude's a fucking idiot. She never even contacted any of them, not a single one. You mean Betty? Sean is the Bull's ecstasy dealer, correct. I do know Sean. Me and Sean started making a murderer together. That's when he started YouTube. They did make a documentary. He actually told me about it. I was like, I'm going to go watch it. I was like, oh my God, I never knew this. Like the way Sean talked way back, in 2016, he wasn't allowed back in the States anymore. And he just, he did some things, but he never really told us the extent of it. He just said he did 10 years in prison or something like that. I don't remember how long, but he did X amount of time in prison due to drugs. And that was it. We did not think, like, I even said to him after I watched, I was like, holy shit, you didn't tell me that you were like hooked up with like the Gambino family and shit. Like you ran Arizona. But yeah, talk about someone turning their life around. But he's actually not allowed back in the United States. But he's a great guy. I used to tell him I was going to marry him. Then I found out he was, I think he was with someone then, but he's like 6'5", a really good looking guy. Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, it is him. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn. I just thought he was like a regular drug dealer. I had no idea. None of us did. But he ran a lot of the rallies for Making a Murderer. He did the England one. Like we did a lot of stuff together back then. He's a good dude. I left him a comment on one of his videos. And I said, he goes, God, that was so long ago. I said, right? I said, it really was. I said, look at you now. But he has a good channel. I'm telling you, he's a really good guy. Jeremy can haul the apartment refrigerator to a dump. I don't know. It's weird that they even... I should ask him for an interview. Yeah, he would do it. Interview the infamous Sean. Yeah, he's tall. 6'4", 6'5", somewhere around there. He's really tall. No, yeah, he's a tall guy. Because I used to think he was short. So I would say to him, something like, you're too short for me. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like 6'4". I said, no, really? He's like, yeah, I'm a tall guy. If you look at old Making a Murderer videos, you can see like stands over everybody. Maybe not 6'5", but he's like 6'3", 6'4". He's tall. What happened to the idiot trying to sue over a 5-year-old clip? I never heard anything back. So I think he just paid like the $30 or whatever to go through this copyright thing. And then I've never heard anything since. And he hasn't written me or anything. So I think it's just, if it's in the copyright thing, then, all right, so let me explain this. When you get a copyright strike, they then, if they don't take you to court within 10 days, then the YouTube puts your video back up. I guess what he paid for was $30-something or $200. I don't remember how much it was, but he paid for the copyright thing just so it's in the court system. And then YouTube can't put it back up because it's in the system. I mean, I could fight it and then it would go to court and everything, but we're not going there. So I think once all his plan was just put it, pay the money so it doesn't go back up on my channel, which if I was like him or I had the money or cared that much, that makes sense. And if I was writing songs, that makes sense. I get it. I don't know if it falls off or it stays in there forever, but I told him, I don't want your fucking stupid ass songs. Can you just pay for copyright use? No, I don't think so. I think the owner of a copyright can go through this court system that's relatively cheap. I mean, it wasn't expensive for him, but I thought it was, smart move if you don't want me to have, you don't want YouTube putting it back up. It does make sense. So, but I think that's all it was. And as long as like I didn't care or he never sees me again, I don't think he's going to take it to court. I was like looking up lawyers and everything. There are lawyers that protect you with copyright, like real lawyers, not like, YouTube lawyers. But it's like a whole thing. I had no idea. So if you ever want to do a real copyright, let me know. I'll give you this website that he used. But this company that he used or whatever, I mean, it's through the government. It's legit. But YouTube just added it within the last like 2 years to make copyrights cheaper. So you don't have to go through the actual court stuff. But I mean, hey, if you want to pay the money, I would have not put it back up on my channel anyway. But hey, it's your money. But it's kind of like, for the smaller creator, not like, Sony Pictures is giving you a copyright strike. It's for the smaller creator that doesn't have millions of dollars to fight in court. It's kind of smart, really. It's 76 degrees and I'm sitting in here with you guys. Can't believe it's 76 degrees. MRB, her haters filed a lawsuit against her for striking their disgusting video about her son. It was crazy they were able to sue over that. Yeah, I don't know if they use this same thing or they went through like this stupid big lawsuit. Whatever happened to her? Is she even still around? I have not seen anything from her. I know, winter's over. Yeah, I said I didn't want to be on 2 hours. Guess who was on 2 hours? Yep, that's right. 2 hours, 1:58. So I am going to get out of here, though, because I want to get stuff done before 6 o'clock. They're on Central Time, right? The interview Central Time Zone. Like I know half of Nashville, half of Tennessee is Eastern. So, all right, I will see you guys in a few hours. I'll see you guys I'll go live at 5:30. Need snow? He can have all the snow. I'm so over cold weather. It's time to get beautiful. So, all right, I will see you guys at 5:30. So let me get some stuff done. Go play with the dogs outside since it's so nice out. And I'll see you guys in 3 hours. Thank you guys for the super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps. Great conversation. Natalie, Peggy, a bunch of you guys. It was great seeing you guys again. Hopefully you guys will come back around more. And Criminal Med, you never said, how's your candle? And that's it. Everyone buy some candles. I'll have the thing later because I keep forgetting. But all right, I will see you beautiful people later. 2:30, 4, 5, 3 hours. Actually, I had to count that. 3 hours. All right, I will see you then. Peace. I miss you too, Peggy. We'll talk later.